Okay, we're on. We're on, sir. Onward. This is interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is. Just drink some water.
So yeah, what have you been working on lately? Do you have any new projects that are coming up?
New projects. Yeah. Honestly, I have nothing. No new projects, but I've been working on music behind the scenes. I've been writing a lot of verses and stuff, and because there's some beats that you send me. Remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been working on those. Nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of health, have we been working out or stuff like that?
Many people when they see me, they say, he's got a body. I bet he lifts weights or whatever. But I won't just. I'm naturally built like that. But I would like to go in the gym though. Like, what about you?
Yeah, I've been working out, on and off,
Yeah.
but I haven't been like consistent or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I live, a healthy lifestyle. I'm very, very strict when it comes to my diet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not in a crazy way. No, like vegetarian and stuff. So pizza sometimes. I'm not that crazy.
That's to say, but is it something that you're passionate about, like fitness? What drives you to?
For me, like health wise,
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like if you have enough muscle as you grow older, as you age, it really helps you out.
Yes.
In the long run. And I think if you really take care of yourself when you're younger, it becomes easier when you get older.
Older, yes.
So I mean that's my take when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. And also it's not only about eating great and eating expensive stuff or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think when you eat something in a mindful way, like
Yeah.
it shows that how much you care about yourself,
Exactly. Exactly.
and how much you care about life.
Mindful.
Let's say for instance, without judging anyone or whatever,
Yes.
on the packet of cigarettes, right? On the packet of cigarettes, it's literally written that don't smoke this. If you smoke this, you'll die.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it says.
But a person actually takes that and smokes.
Yeah.
So what does it say?
I mean, to me, it labels stupidity in a way. That's my opinion.
Okay, dude, don't go around saying stupid to sugar smoke, bro.
But I mean, it's why would you consume something that you know for sure that will kill you?
Yeah.
I feel like you should just be mindful of what you take inside. What you consume in your body.
Yeah, without any judgment. Yeah, without any judgment for sure. I mean, this is my this is my opinion. This is my personal opinion.
I don't know.
I mean, you go out there and do you. But yeah, have you been going to church? Have you been praying? Stuff like that.
I haven't been to church in a minute, but I do pray when I'm alone.
What is a minute? In God's time or in human time? I've been, but what judging, because I myself, I've been super busy. I've been,
Yes.
doing photography. I've been doing, videography,
Yeah.
content creation.
Yes.
I mean, I can have excuses and whatever. I mean, it's all about priorities in the end. But yeah, I've been super busy, and that's what most of us, tell ourselves.
Yeah, right.
Tell ourselves that we're busy. But let's say, for instance, you have like, a chick that you love, like a girl that you're
See where this is going.
mad in love with, and like you'd really make time.
Make time for it, yeah.
You'd make time for it. But it's not only about church. For me, it's not really about church. It's about like your personal relationship with God.
With God, yes.
How has it been like,
I mean, it's been good because when I feel low, when I feel down, depressed, or whatever, I tend to just sit by myself in isolation with
Yeah.
just distance myself from people and just talk to God one on one. Helps me a lot. It calms me down. And sometimes you just feel like angry and stuff, and then the thoughts are just taking over. So I would say that it helps me a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like as a young person, like
Yeah.
with this generation, we are so consumed with technology and consumed with AI and all that kind of stuff. If you have like a higher power, God, like Jesus Christ, as your Lord and personal Savior,
Yes.
you would like as a person be not be in that circle of influence, whatever. You would actually be running
Yes.
running to a source, running to the creator, the
Yes.
person who knows you better, rather than going to the creation to help you.
Yeah.
But you're going to the creator to help you. So which is great. But for me, I don't really, in a personal way, I used to do that. Like, let's say I'm low, and then I go there and pray up, and then when I feel good, I forget. Okay, there's a God. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not like I would say I don't care, but when things are going good,
Just when you tend
just
to
forget.
mostly forget God, yes.
Yeah, you just forget.
Yes.
You just forget. It's like everything you're doing is out of your power, out
Yeah.
of your strength.
What would you say to people? Like, how can you combat that? That, like you only go to God and seek help when you are in, times of trouble, times of need. How can you actually go to God when things are going good and say, thank you for this and that? You helped me through the
For me, I
difficult
think
times, yes.
for me, I think you have to know who God is in the first place
Mm.
for you to understand. Is God the person that you go to as a tablet, like as a pill that you take, or when you have a headache,
Yeah.
and then when the headache is gone, you forget there is grandpa, you forget there is, what do you call that other aspirin?
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You forget about that. You only remember when there is a pain.
Mm.
So you have to remember that this is the person who knows. Let's say, for instance, you buy a Lamborghini,
Yes.
right? We are trying to place like,
Yes.
what is the best car in the world?
I mean, it's
Maybe a Bugatti.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lamborghini,
a
Bugatti, yeah. something.
Yeah, take yourself as a Bugatti.
Mm.
You're a Bugatti,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If there's a problem with you, or who knows you better,
Mm.
who knows you better as a Bugatti?
I mean, definitely the maker.
The maker of
Yeah,
Bugatti,
the maker,
right? The maker, same thing as human beings.
Yes.
Like, if you know that God knows me better, He's the one that created me, right?
Yes.
So if He knows you better, then you must be willing to go to Him in all circumstances.
Yes.
Whether you are joyful, whether you are down, whether you whatever
Because
circumstance.
he knows you better, right?
He knows you better.
That's
He's
it.
in all your highs and in all your
Lows,
He
yeah.
knows you better. So
Agree.
I mean that's my go-to. That's my go-to. It's not like a religious thing whereby every morning I have to go there.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, which is a good thing. It's a great thing to start your day with God, but for me, I feel like you have to be constantly, in His presence, constantly,
Yeah.
being mindful that there is a Creator who created me,
Mhm.
and I'm not alone. He's with me, and He's in me,
Yes.
and I'm in Him.
Yes.
And we are one. So God is in you, as it is written in the Bible. God is with you, and you are God.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
the Bible.
You are God,
You are
yes.
God. You are one.
I feel like when you say I am a God, like Kanye say,
Yeah.
he's a God. I mean, I don't know, people take that out of context. I don't know. Well, why do you
Yeah,
think
they
that is?
do actually. But like when Christ came, right? When he changed all of that,
Yes,
all of that
he did.
context,
Yeah.
changed all of that.
Revolutionized
Yeah,
things,
and one of the prayers that he made, before he actually ascended, before he went to heaven, he prayed that we become one, right? As He is one with God. You understand? Like, as Christians, we become one as He is one
with God.
with God.
Yeah.
And He said, He and the Father are one, right?
Yes.
And we, like as Christians, and Him are one. So what does that make us?
We are a part of God.
Okay, now if let's say you are a human being, you have a child. Is a child an animal or a human being?
Human being, obviously.
If God has a child,
Yes.
right? What would you call that child?
I mean,
What is he?
Son of God.
The Son of God. What is the Son of God? What is he?
A God.
You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's this version of belittling ourselves as human beings and not understanding the authority that we have as Christians, and our authority that we have, and the authority that we have been given. Like if you see in the Old Testament, like in the Garden of Eden,
Yeah.
the authority that Adam was given. You understand?
It's given a lot of
Dominion over every living thing.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And I mean, when he sinned in the Bible,
Yes.
he literally gave all the dominion to the devil, right? And then obviously when Christ came, everything changed, and then
Yes.
that very same dominion that Adam had, you understand,
No.
God would also appear to him
And talk to him.
and
Yes.
talk to him. You understand? But obviously there was a form of divinity within him. There was something way supernatural about him. I mean, the man lived like how many years? Like 100 years.
Yes. He lived
Right.
a long time.
So yeah,
But there's also one question that I have, right? Is do you actually think that Bible years were as long as they say they would.
Yeah, of course, man.
Are you sure?
100% sure.
Okay, how would you justify that? Because now look, back in the olden days,
Yeah.
there wasn't as good there wasn't good enough medication, to sustain the human body, and there wasn't enough, like nutritious food to keep you alive for longer. I feel like back then things or the years were calculated differently. I would say if they say someone lived for 900 years, I would say maybe that's 90 years.
I don't think so. Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
I mean, there are a lot of factors. For instance, we during that time we didn't really need medication in the first place.
Okay.
I mean, look at now the pollution, the air pollution. You know,
Yes.
there's so much pollution going on around the world. The food that we're eating is a lot of chemicals and all that stuff.
Yeah.
GS process. That stuff didn't exist during that time.
Yeah.
Everything was real. So obviously a president is gonna live until 900 years.
But I mean, now if you see the highest life expectancy of a human is, I mean, if you reach 100, you've lived a long life.
Yep.
I mean, if it was the same, I mean, would see people living up to 500 years, for example. How do you go from 900 to 100?
No, the other thing was it's written in the Bible also. It's actually one of the things that God spoke of during the time of Noah,
Yeah.
that we're not gonna, he's gonna cut off the human years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually a decree. It was actually something that God said that he's gonna do because of the sins that he saw human beings, commit.
Okay.
But now, you see, the other thing is that we don't really have to care about the earthly years.
Yeah.
Because now we have eternal life. Why do we really have to care about the earthly year? We have eternal life now.
True.
So if you say 900 years is not eternity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's just always been in my mind, thinking like maybe they miscalculated things.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Definitely not. Definitely. People were living up until yeah. Now imagine if you should live for 900 years. Obviously, you'd be wise.
Yeah.
Imagine all the mistakes that you had to make to understand it.
Yeah.
Of course, you would have so many chances. If you are a fool after 900 years, then there's no hope.
Yeah, there's no way they.
You want to be wise at 500. 500 is a lot.
Yeah,
If you after
12 years.
200 years, you should be like a sage or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
I mean,
think
that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff was happening back in the day.
What does it take for one to okay, let me put it this way. Why do you think there's so many untalented rappers in the game? Well, yeah, I'm going to be honest. Untalented rappers in the game, whereas the gifted ones are still, there on the sidelines, just watching in. The gatekeeping is,
I think
too insane.
I don't think it's anything to do with gatekeeping or whatever. It's not about time and chance and being delusional. I've heard some of the greatest people saying that the reason why a lot of, even, it's not only in music, in business, in whatever.
Yes.
I mean, the more wiser you are, the more likely you're not to make it.
Wow.
Because if you are like knowledgeable and wise, you overthink things.
Yeah.
But if you are dumb, you just dive.
Yeah. You
don't really care. Because you're not thinking that much.
You're like a loose cannon. You just go.
Going. Yeah. That's why most of the people who don't overthink things, they're doers. They just they just do it.
True.
And this is something that on my side I've been really, really working on. Because, as an artist, sometimes I can record something.
Yeah.
And then I listen to it and then I overthink, is it good? And then someone else comes and then I just play the song. Oh, this is great. The teacher is this. And I'm like, really? Does it sound? So it's not really, I don't know. It's not really about untalented or talented, whatever. But it's more of the art of being delusional. It's actually an art.
Yes.
It's really an art. And 90% of the people that are really on top, they're not the most smartest.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So they are willing to take chances and they're willing to go for it without overthinking. They just do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main reason.
Also, I think opportunities. It also depends where you were born.
Right. That doesn't matter. I've seen people coming from the mud, from nothing, from zero, who are delusional enough to knock on doors that they shouldn't knock on, and
Yeah.
actually those doors being open. You see, so it doesn't matter. Like many people make excuses, like, oh, I kept, yeah, I know see you soon, blah blah blah. That doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at all. You know,
I mean,
what matters is, are you delusional enough?
to knock on those doors.
Are you delusional?
Wow.
You know, because you really mustn't overthink it, because sometimes you overthinking. Are those rooms really meant for me to be?
Yeah. To be in, yes.
You know, so before you even go there, or even if you get a chance to go there, you won't
Yeah.
feel like you belong.
Yeah.
In such
Yeah.
realms, on such a level, you know,
True that.
because you're overthinking it.
Mhm.
You know, so you just gotta go out there and do it.
I mean, that's some great advice there for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but it's something that I'm working on, bro. Something that I'm working on.
Oh, because you're not quite there.
Yeah, I'm not delusional yet. I want to be delusional. I really want to be delusional, man.
I mean, it's something that we gotta work on. I mean, myself also included. I think. I mean, I've been trying to knock on doors, but I feel like when opportunity meets, like, like preparedness, if you aren't prepared enough,
Yeah.
even like no matter how talented you are, they're not gonna allow you in that room, whatever. So you just have to be prepared enough. Work on yourself. I mean, it might take you 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Just for you to perfect that.
And also building a community. Building a community. Like now, I feel like it's very important, especially for artists, to have a community. That's why we're starting this podcast. Yes. To have people who are who are able to, who like our content, and who listen to our content, and and those very people will be the people who actually listen to our music, who support us, and all that kind of. Because in these podcasts or in these talks, this is where we kind of reveal who we are. Some people show it in comedy, some people show it in those content creation, like
For us, this is a
gym stars or in whatever. So I feel like this is my way of expressing myself, because I get to talk about religion, I get to talk about my way of life, I get to talk about different stuff. Stuff that
Which normally, like, the music doesn't, like, it doesn't paint that full picture of who I am actually.
as a person.
But this goes deeper.
Yeah, because you're not putting it on any mask. You understand? Unless we are acting here on this.
Definitely not.
Because in music, it's all about sometimes, like, it's fiction. It's like an actor. Let's say, like an actor who's
You put on a character.
Also you put on a character. So it's the same thing in music. They call me Wise in music, but that's not my real name.
I mean, I'm Destiny, but that's not my real name.
That's not this one. And what's your real name, by the way? I don't even know.
I mean,
What's your real name? Imagine I've known this guy for how many years? How many years has it been?
it's been
Like 6 years. I've known this guy for 6 years, and I still don't know his name.
I mean,
I only know that's name.
I'll tell him off camera.
I don't know, this guy is like Destiny.
That's it. I mean, that's my name to you guys.
I know if any of you guys are watching, and you know this guy's name, just
Guys, don't
say it in the comment section. Say it in the comment section. We're being real right now.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody knows my real name.
We're being real right now. Yeah, relationship wise, bro. Relationship wise.
Okay.
Relationship wise. How will you use your relationship? Like any woman in your life, any
That.
I mean, you must have, like, chicks lining up and stuff like that.
Nah, not really.
Women and rappers.
It's not always like that. I was in a relationship last year.
Okay.
With this one chick. Then,
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming in here.
I mean, she was a metric.
Okay.
But so I think we started dating in June.
Okay.
And things were going well. Like, he used to come to my place, and we just had a lot of fun.
Okay.
But then August came, and then it was like around like my birthday time, and I don't know, she just started acting weird. You know what I mean? Like, said, yo, she promises that she's coming to see me. Then after that, she changes her mind. Like when a female says she's coming to see you, prepare, man, it looks nice, cook yourself, whatever. I mean, it just all started to go downhill. Then months later, she texts me to tell me that She don't feel me anymore. She don't feel me anymore.
Wow, yeah, that's cold.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
That's really cold. You should write a song about it.
I mean, I already did.
Those emotions, yeah. What emotions?
I already did, but I just have to record the song. So now, currently, I'm not looking to relationships. Yeah, I feel like I need to work on myself.
Yeah, that's good.
You know,
That's
go to the gym more, like you say. You know, pump up the bicep.
Yeah, and read a lot. You read a lot though. What kind of books have you been reading?
Really,
Okay.
to be honest. But I listen to a lot of like podcast, like audiobooks.
Oh,
Yeah,
audio.
yeah, I listen to audio.
What kind of books do you read?
A lot of fictional stuff.
Oh, okay.
A lot of fictional stuff, because it also like helps you with like vocab and stuff. You know, it
Oh.
helps you like it helps you to imagine things beyond the, you know, like what we see.
That's great. I've in my life I've never read any fictional
You've never.
book. No, I've never.
I mean, that's where like the creativity comes from, like
Oh,
artistically. That's where it comes from. I mean, from my side. What about you? What books have you been?
I love philosophy. I'm a crazy guy when it comes to philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah, and some Stoic stuff but in the Bible.
What is that about the Stoic stuff?
I mean, it's all about your inner self, like mastering yourself as a person, as a human being,
Yeah.
as an individual. It's understanding yourself, and it helps you connect to yourself, and
On a deeper level.
yeah, you know, on a deeper level,
Yeah.
and understanding human behavior also.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it has really helped me as a person, and it shaped my character like in a crazy way. And some of the other books that I read also, they are, I wouldn't say they're Christian based, but
Yeah.
they relate to the Bible.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to read something, because you become what you read. So I didn't really want to read something that's really going to put me off track. I really want to read
Like they say, you are what you consume.
yeah, you are what you consume. You know,
That's a good. That's a.
in the Bible also says, as a man thinketh,
Yes.
so easy. As a man thinketh, as a man
Think it.
as a man say thinketh, so as a man thinketh, as a man thinketh. Why am I failing to say thinketh? As a man thinketh, so easy. Yeah.